Hello there, my beautiful YouTube family and friends. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic day. Today, we're making jollof rice. I know we've made jollof rice many times on this channel. In fact, my very second video I shared on YouTube is jollof rice. Now, you know we have to close this chapter, this year, 2020, properly, with style, and then usher us also beautifully into a brand new year. What better way to do it than jollof rice? Yes, party style. I'm excited. I can even smell the aroma of all the spices and all the other ingredients I have meticulously selected to prepare this special dish. So I can't wait. Let's wash our hands so we can begin. Here are the ingredients needed for the recipe. Half a tablespoon of thyme, 1 tablespoon of dry rosemary, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose seasoning, same as your bouillon, so use 2 chicken bouillons, 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds, 2 star anise. I have a tablespoon and a half of my homemade curry powder. I will link the recipe below. Half a teaspoon of fennel seeds, and you can substitute this with the same amount aniseed. Cardamom pods, which comes about 18 small cardamom pods. And this is going to give us a really special piney flavor. You will love it. Our secret ingredient today. And for the jollof stew preparation, friends, we're going to be needing 3 large onions. And I also have 1 Fresno chili. You can use scotch bonnet in place of that. I have these Serrano chilies. Now, you can substitute with papuchita or pettie bell chilies. And I have 1 tablespoon of garlic paste. Now, for the protein, I'm going to be needing to marinate it with 1 large onion, repeating the Serrano chilies. Also, 1 tablespoon of garlic paste. I also have some ginger. It's about a thumb size, cut into small pieces. Also repeating the Fresno chili. And then I have 3 bay leaves. And the following fresh 3 herbs in combination work well with poultry. So I have fresh rosemary, sage, and thyme. Preparation will need 1.5 cups of tomato paste. This is my homemade tomato paste with beets. So it will give us a background hints of sweetness, which will be special in this dish. We also need our protein. Today we're using turkey wings, cleaned thoroughly with vinegar and water. We have 1/4 cup of clarified butter, which is ghee. You can substitute with the same amount of just regular butter. We will be needing that for more flavor. And then we have 6 large red bell peppers. We need our salt and crushed black pepper for seasoning as appropriate. We also have 12 cups of jasmine rice, the non-sticky kind. I say the non-sticky kind because I learned the hard way. They have 2 kinds, they look alike, and it doesn't say sticky or non-sticky on the bag. So when you go to buy it, please be sure that you're getting the right kind. Nice brand, and the bags look alike, the sticky and non-sticky. So just be sure you're asking. Now into the blender, I'm pouring in the ingredients to marinate the turkey wings. So I have the onion, the ginger, Fresno chili, Serrano chili, the garlic paste, sage. Now tearing the leaves of the rosemary in, and I will also add now the thyme. What we're going to do is blend everything together to get a smooth marinade. Just adding the star anise, cardamom pods, adding the fennel seeds now, similar to anise seeds, so you can use that in place of the fennel seeds. Just added the coriander seeds, followed by 1/5 cup of water to blend these till smooth. Absolutely happy with the fragrance of this marinade because it's loaded with a ton of aromatics. What you're going to do is just pour it onto your clean turkey wings. Add your all-purpose seasoning similar to your bouillons. I recommend using 1 cube of chicken bouillon. Add your bay leaves and also your salt to taste. And of course, you need your crushed black pepper. You need about 1/4 teaspoon of it. And then also rinse your blender because we're trying to eliminate waste, all right? And we also want broth, a good and tasty broth from cooking this turkey wings. Think of the broth as an important derivative, all right, from cooking the turkey wings, because we will eventually incorporate the broth into the actual preparation of the jollof rice. I massaged the marinade into the turkey wings. It took about 10 minutes. You know, I was just enjoying the textures there. And then that also gives it a chance to marinate nicely, and then set it on the stove. These turkey wings are super tender, so they don't take that long to cook. So you're going to cook on medium heat for 20 minutes. You go back and give it a stir, and it should be ready. Next step is to separate the turkey wings from the broth, because we are going to fry these till golden brown. What is flavor? It is loaded, rich with flavor. We're going to continue the cooking outside because it was a lovely day, so why not? I pour in some vegetable oil. The amount of oil is solely dependent on the pot size, okay? So I poured in enough to fry the turkey wings, okay? This wasn't even deep frying. It was between deep and shallow frying, because I had to go back and flip them. Gorgeous. They are stunning, to say the very least. Crispy skin, juicy inside, perfect. They're done. They're going to be set aside in the oven so they keep warm. Now I'm going to give these bell peppers a char. We are making party jollof rice, so we need that smokiness. So if you have oven flame, you can do this, or you can throw them in your oven and use your broil option. Make sure they're very close to the top of the oven so they can char quickly for you. Done. Now I'm going to prep my onions. I like to give them a thin slice. There are 3 large onions. Onions are everything in your jollof rice. The more onions you have, the more sweetness, the more flavor you get. Now my Serrano chilies, I give them the same treatment. Slice them thinly. Done. Now I'm also going to blend these charred red bell peppers. So I'm going to trim the flesh off of the seeds and that white membrane in there. And into the blender they will go, and they will be blended till smooth. Red bell peppers are super sweet, and when they are charred like this, they become even sweeter, and that smokiness is to die for. I've added 1 Fresno chili to it for that flavor and also that spiciness I love. I'm gonna blend till really smooth, and that will also be ready. Everything is now prepped. We are ready to cook our jollof rice. So the oil, I have taken about half the amount off from when I fried the turkey wings, and that's what I'm going to use to cook the jollof stew. The jollof stew requires frying if you want to optimize your flavors. So you need enough oil to do so. So I've poured in the sliced onions and serranos, now adding some salt and crushed black pepper. That's going to help it to caramelize sooner. And oh, the aroma of these onions. I love that aroma. I live for it. All right, so keep on stirring. You want it to caramelize. You want to see some brown actually happening. We're going to now add our curry powder, followed by the dry rosemary and thyme. I find that the dry rosemary and thyme at this stage of cooking your jollof stew really help to develop the flavor sooner. But if you have the fresh, you can absolutely use that. Now we're adding our charred blended red bell peppers, and continue to cook an additional 5 minutes so that the bell peppers lose a little bit of its moisture. We're trying to fry that moisture out. That also helps to really elevate the flavors. I have just added the 1 tablespoon of garlic paste. It's good to add it now, not sooner, because then this mixture will be bitter by now if you had added it a lot sooner, okay? And we really don't want bitterness here. All right, so it is now time to add our homemade tomato paste. What a lifesaver this has been for me. I have the recipe linked below in the description box, so if you want to check it out. Like I said, it does have beets in it, so it's a lot sweeter. And it doesn't have the canned flavor, which I absolutely dislike and have to keep frying to eliminate that flavor. So we add it and we cook an additional 5 minutes. And then we add the broth from cooking the turkey, which is loaded with aroma. Yes, because it has all those aromatics in there, as well as lots of sweetness. It's just absolutely packed and rich with flavor. So we add that, stir that in, cover the pot, and cook for 10 more minutes. Stew is done cooking. Yes, that's what I love about using my homemade tomato paste. It does not require much frying. Now I am skimming off the oil from frying the jollof stew, and I'm passing it through a strainer to catch the rosemary, which was floating on the oil. All right, and then I throw those back into the pot. Now that the stew is done cooking, I reserve about 1/3 of the pot of stew. I will add that as part of my serving. Some people like their jollof rice a lot saucier than others. So I did have a lot of jollof stew and I didn't want to use all that to cook the jollof. I've added the washed rice. You saw that we washed it and the water was clear before we added it. There was a little bit of water in the rice when we added it. So we're not going to add any more water to this at all. You see that there's just a small layer of moisture on the rice. That's exactly what we want. We want to be really careful. Adding too much water to this mixture at this point can possibly make the rice cook rather mushy than fluffy, and we are going for fluffy. Now we're adding the ghee, and the ghee is equal to even more flavor. It gives it a special touch. Butter will do the same thing, and your cold pressed coconut oil will do the same thing as well. So it depends on which flavor you're going for. The ghee does give it a nuttier butter flavor, so it is just special. I love it. So stir that in, cover it, and cook on the lowest heat setting for the next 15 minutes. And there it is. Not cooked at all. It is still moist, and the rice grains are definitely very crunchy, so it's not cooked. But you want to stir it because you saw it was compact. It was really packed together. You want to loosen the grains, all right, so that steam can go through the pot and cook the grains till fluffy. Now you also want to poke some holes in there. That helps the steam to come through and cook the rice evenly. And cover with your parchment paper or foil. Throw the lid on and continue to cook on the lowest heat setting for the next 25 minutes. Now we take the lid off and you notice the rice is still crunchy. Yes, I'm being extra careful. I do not want to overwhelm this pot with too much water. What we want is fluffy and not mushy rice, okay? So we want to play it safe. Now I have some vegetables. I have some onions, red bell peppers, and green bell peppers. I'm going to bury those. I've cut them into really big chunks. I'm going to bury those inside the rice. And what that will do is they will release their moisture. So instead of sprinkling water onto the rice to cook it so that the grains that are crunchy cook through, use vegetables. Because what do you get from vegetables? You get lots of moisture. It's full of water, but then it's also full of flavor. It's a flavor enhancer. Chicken doesn't taste as good unless you add vegetables to it. All meats taste even better when you add vegetables. Same applies to any kind of food, savory foods that you're cooking, or even some sweet foods. So yeah, add that, bury them, and then cover the pot again with the parchment paper and the lid, and cook again for the next 10 to 15 minutes. And you'll be excited as to what you find when you open that lid. Credit for this technique goes to Yemisi of Sissy Yemi TV, a brilliant, hard-working Nigerian YouTuber whom I personally respect highly and admire. She used this technique and I thought I had to try it. She used it in her most recent party jollof rice. I tried it in friends and family. You ought to try it too. Go and watch that video. I have linked it below for your convenience. Thank you so much, Sissy Yemi. So I made some Ghanaian salad. So here is the potato salad part of it. The children really loved this salad. I was surprised. They devoured it. It was unbelievable. I was pleasantly surprised, to say the least. So I made the potato salad and this pasta salad yesterday. They just taste better the next day, and stored it in the fridge. So I have a detailed Ghanaian salad recipe minus the pasta salad linked below if you want to check it out. Now look, just take a good look at this rice. Cooked fluffy, it is moist, and yet it isn't mushy. Everything about this party jollof rice is stunning. Oh, friends, you have to try this recipe. So what I'm doing now is removing the big chunks of vegetables. They have done their job. So we can take them out, but don't discard them. Put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. When you make some soup later on, you can use them to thicken the soup. Look at how fluffy this rice turned out. And it tastes so good, friends. It tastes so good. You have to try this recipe. If you're enjoying yourself, friends, the rice is done. It is almost chop time. You have to give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're sharing this video and telling your friends and family, your loved ones about this channel. Look at that. Flavor galore. Yes. Let's serve, friends and family. I am so happy right now. Just too happy. Yes, it's just beautiful. Look at how fluffy it is. Serve a healthy amount of jollof rice and throw some of that turkey meat on there. Just look at it. Oh my goodness. Just too elegant. And it was tasty too. Add some salad. So I have my lettuce, some carrot as well. And the treatment I gave these was I just used a cheese shaver to shave them into the spaghetti form. And it's just pretty. And I added some of the cucumber and cherry tomatoes, some eggs, onions sliced thinly. Yes. Oh, yes, indeed. And this is my homemade baked beans. That recipe is also linked below. And some of that stew for those who love their jollof rice a lot saucier. So I have the high-end salad dressing. This stuff is some good stuff. Yes, this is how we make our Ghanaian salad. And that sweet, tangy flavor from that salad dressing is to live for. I thank you all so much. It is chop time, and it's yes, friends. So pull up a chair. We are all friends here. Let's dine together, try the recipe, and come back, please, with your feedback. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you all so, so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Show me that by the thumbs up. Share the video. Tell your friends about it. And also subscribe if you're not already done so. And I'll see you soon in my next one. Make it a great day, friends and family, and have fun, especially in that kitchen.